Taiwan. I'm Ethan Liu with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Former Taipei Mayor Wen-je's team is gearing up to appeal once again for his release from detention, as the 65-year-old politician was taken back into custody following a back and forth between prosecutors, the High Court, and the District Court. Tiffany Wong reports from the Taipei Detention Center.
Former Taipei Mayor Wen-je is back in detention just a week after being released on bail for corruption charges. Prosecutors say that he and other defendants could try to collude with each other electronically. The Taipei District Court has now gone back on their previous judgment that Ke and others would not interfere in the investigation while out on bail, agreeing with prosecutors that they do present a flight risk and could try to destroy evidence or even collude with each other. And now they're sending him back to detention incommunicado. During his third bail hearing that lasted 5 hours on Thursday, Ke asked prosecutors for a list of people he should not contact while out on bail and said that prosecutors were targeting him. The Taiwan People's Party, which is the third force opposition party that Ke founded, said Ke was being bullied by prosecutors and that the court was being influenced by President Ching-te, who leads the ruling Democratic Progressive Party. They've now called for a nationwide protest on Justices Day, which is January 11th.
全中华民国、全台湾到底有谁觉得柯文哲会逃亡？你脑袋有洞吗？检察官在申请羁押柯文哲的过程当中，他们那一种恶质的伎俩，我老实讲，连法官都被惹毛了。
Ke had already been held incommunicado since September when prosecutors were given time to investigate, going through his phone records and computer files and compiling a 190-page indictment. He was released only last week on a bail of nearly $1 million after being charged with corruption, including accepting bribes and embezzling political funds related to his alleged involvement in a real estate deal when he was mayor and for mishandling political funds during his run for president last year. Prosecutors appealed immediately after, and the High Court revoked the lower court's decision, hiking his bail to $2 million and requiring him to wear an ankle monitor. Ke's team is ready to appeal, and they must do so within 10 days. Otherwise, they may not see Ke for several months. Justin Wu and Tiffany Wong at the Taipei Detention Center for TaiwanPlus.
A plan to connect multiple tech hubs to create a Silicon Valley in Taiwan has been given the go-ahead by the government. But skeptics remain concerned about the strain it would put on resources, in particular water. Joyson has more.
Taiwan is hailing a major milestone for its tech sector. The government has officially launched a plan to link 4 major tech parks in the south and integrate efforts pushing new AI technologies. Given the shape, it's been called the S Corridor, connecting tech parks in Jiayi, Tainan, Kaohsiung, and Pingtung. At the opening ceremony, President Ching-te said the corridor would help Taiwan move beyond just manufacturing most of the world's advanced chips.
我们不能够只卖设备啊，我们要有能力卖 solution 卖系统整合。 除了卖以外，我们还要自己能够用啊！建立起台湾使用人工智慧科技的文化，这样台湾才会强。
A big question, though, is how Taiwan will find the resources, in particular water, for this new Silicon Valley. One tech park in Kaohsiung alone consumes about 60,000 tons of water on average each day. To meet the S Corridor's needs, Taiwan's tech ministry has laid out plans to connect reservoirs in the south, a drought-prone region. The Water Resources Agency told TaiwanPlus that there's a surplus of about 400,000 tons of water a day in the region from various sources that's available for the project. This remapping of the country's resources reflects the project's scale and Taiwan's drive to lead in the global AI race. Fu Hua Hong, Eason Pan, and Joyce Zhen for TaiwanPlus.
Dramatic scenes are unfolding on the streets of Seoul as an attempt to arrest impeached President Yoon has been aborted. Leslie Liao has the latest.
A president impeached, now resisting arrest. South Korean police officers arrived in force at the country's presidential residence in the early hours of Friday morning to detain suspended leader Yoon Suk-yeol, who was removed for suddenly enacting martial law last month.
저는 북한 공산 세력의 위협으로부터 자유 대한민국을 수호하고 우리 국민의 자유와 행복을 약탈하고 있는
But police faced a tough task in even getting to Yoon, with supporters of the impeached president vowing to block the arrest as they surround the presidential compound.
윤석열 대통령은 여태까지 국가의 법을 지켜왔고 저자들은 국가의 법이 없습니다. 대한민국은 지금 무법 천지가 되어가고 있습니다. 이런 상황에서 국민의 한 사람으로서 도저히 그냥 이 자리를 묵고 할 수 없어서 이 자리에 찾아왔습니다.
Yoon's lawyer has also called the arrest attempt unlawful, saying they will challenge any attempt to bring the president in. And beyond the protesters, two more obstacles complicated efforts to detain Yoon: a military unit tasked with protecting the presidential residence and Yoon's personal security detail. Local media reported that police successfully negotiated with the military and made it to Yoon's door. But corruption officials deemed the arrest impossible and called off the effort, marking more turmoil in an increasingly unstable government. Klein Wong and Leslie Liao for TaiwanPlus.
U.S. President Joe Biden has decided to block Nippon Steel's takeover of U.S. Steel. That's according to the Washington Post. The $15 billion deal would have made the Japanese company the world's third largest steelmaker. The merger was opposed by labor unions, and Biden has said that he wants U.S. Steel to be domestically owned and run. President-elect Donald Trump had also said he would block the deal after he takes office this month. Taiwan is set to begin importing milk tariff-free from New Zealand, but there are concerns about the impact the imports could have on domestic dairy production. Chelsea Wu reports.
Keep local milk in Taiwan's schools. That's the message this group of parents and teachers hope the government will heed after it suspended a program that provided school kids nationwide with fresh milk from domestic dairy farms. They say the change hurts farmers, especially now, milk imported tariff-free from New Zealand is making its way into Taiwan.
纽西兰这个牛乳零关税的这个议题势必会打击甚至打垮本土的酪农可能会衍生出新的家庭问题，甚至社会问题。
The new arrangement doesn't come as a surprise. Taiwan's local dairy industry has had over a decade to prepare for the end of its milk monopoly, after Taiwan and New Zealand signed a trade deal in 2013.
今年开始，各大乳品厂为了因应明年免关税的牛奶，已经减量收购农民的牛奶，有可能明年会造成至少30%的酪农消失。
People within the industry fear the public will favor cheaper New Zealand milk over more expensive milk produced locally. An even bigger concern would be a decline in local milk being bought for use in popular drinks like bubble tea and lattes. And as milk prices in Taiwan continue to go up, consumers are starting to feel the pinch.
去日本的时候就觉得日本的牛奶还蛮便宜的，所以就会觉得台湾牛奶还比较高一点，是不知道啦，但是我觉得是比较贵。
我不会喝空运的其他国家便宜的牛奶，我会选择在地的，因为这个就是我们喝牛奶是为了它的营养，不是为了它的价钱。
Taiwan has the second most expensive milk in the world, at $2.95 for a liter of regular milk. A liter in New Zealand costs $1.69, and in the U.S. it's even cheaper, at a little over $1. Responding to these concerns, Taiwan's Agriculture Ministry is helping dairy farmers get more of their milk onto shelves. They're also looking to partner with drink shops, encouraging them to use more locally produced milk and put up signs indicating made in Taiwan products. Farmers in Taiwan say their milk is extra fresh, which is why it has a shorter shelf life compared to New Zealand's. But whether the freshness and quality can justify the high cost of Taiwan's milk will be up for shoppers to decide. Scott Huang and Chelsea Wu for TaiwanPlus.
Farmers have been growing and drying persimmons in Taiwan for centuries, with persimmon cakes especially popular during the Lunar New Year period. But climate change is threatening farmers and the centuries-old custom. Wesley Lewis has more.
Carrying on a time-honored tradition, 68-year-old Lu Lijian's family has been making persimmon cakes for over a century here at their orchard in northern Taiwan. Every winter, they lay out pitted and flattened persimmons on circular wire racks to dry in the wind and sun, a traditional technique used by the country's ethnic Hakka community.
阿公的时候就开始在这边做个柿饼了到现在已经有100多年了。因为我们这边的气候比较特殊嘛，还有叫做金竹风，所以比较干燥。
It's in this region that 90% of Taiwan's dried persimmon cakes are processed. They're a popular gift, especially during Lunar New Year. Much of what Lu dries out comes from other farms, like that of Luo Zhineng, who delivers truckloads of the fruit nearly every day. But he says the past 12 months have been tough. Taiwan's persimmon growing season usually lasts from September to December. But in 2024, 2 powerful typhoons made landfall in October, a first in the country's recorded history, devastating Luo's livelihood.
损产状还是台风影响比较大啦，这个叶子太大了，你台风一吹，叶子就掉光了，叶子掉了，果蒂就没有叶子，它就掉，果蒂就掉了啊。
Luo says his crop yield has dropped by at least a third compared to previous years, losing him over $30,000 in revenue. What's more, he says warming temperatures meant some of his trees that withstood the typhoons didn't bloom and produce fruit. 2024 was Taiwan's hottest year on record, and agricultural officials say climate change will only continue to aggravate matters.
近几年来，我们也发现，在大环境的一个改变，甚至气候变迁或者是暖化的这样的一个大趋势之下，那有一些产区会做一些位移，那有一些产量会受到外界的大环境的这样的一个影响，来受到这个产量，不管是产量或者品质上的一个浮动。
To offset this year's deficit from the low fruit supply, Lu Lijian's family plan to sell dyes made from persimmon skins, and to even use the seeds and peels to make skincare products. Like other farmers, Lu continues to make do with what he can, earning a living by carrying out an age-old tradition, despite the looming threat of climate change. Howard Zhang and Wesley Lewis for TaiwanPlus.
Vet students at the university in central Taiwan are using artificial animals to learn how to treat real ones. Cadence Coranta reports.
Intubating a fake dog, a way for these vet students to practice their skills without having to use real ones. The students practice performing CPR on the dog and bandaging up its leg. On an artificial cow with organs made to look real, they can practice helping it give birth to an artificial calf. They can even learn to take blood from an artificial fish.
因为平常如果是真的直接去碰到动物，其实会很紧张。然后我觉得有一个实际的可以让我先知道它的解剖位置，比起直接看书会来得更具体。这样。
Traditionally, vet students often practice on live animals, but questions have been raised for years about whether this is humane. Practicing on artificial animals reduces students' reliance on real animals to learn the ropes. It's being tried not just in Taiwan, but also in some other parts of the world.
我们都有这个动物保护的这个 issue 那所以真的是没有办法去拿这个真正的活体来给学生做不断的练习。
But some say practicing on artificial animals also has its limitations because it's not the same as treating a real animal. But this university expects to add more types of artificial animals in the future, depending on what students need. Scott Huang and Cadence Coranta for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website and follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally today, check out this rare aurora borealis that appeared over the Urgen wetland in northern Inner Mongolia. I'm Ethan Liu. Take care, and I'll see you next time.